afternoon, I'm China Green. If you were just joining us for the past hour, we were live on air letting you know about a tsunami, but that warning has been canceled for parts of southern Oregon and northern California after, again, a powerful 7 magnitude earthquake struck just off the coast. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis have been talking about that for the past hour. We'll check back in with Rod in just a few minutes, but we're going to get to our other top story of this new newscast, a deadly police shooting in southeast Vancouver. An officer shot and killed a man last night in a Safeway parking lot near the Mountain View neighborhood. Our Ashley Grams is live from that Safeway where investigators have been all night, all morning, all afternoon. Ashley, what can you tell us?
Right, China, state investigators have been here on scene for hours. They spent the overnight hours here, and as we hit this noon hour, they are still here as well. They have an area just to the side entrance of Safeway taped off. Now, we do want to show you some video from earlier today when these state investigators are working alongside the Washington State Patrol crime scene technicians. Vancouver police say they approached a man last night around 10:45, and a fight broke out. During the struggle, the man pulled out a gun, and that's when a police officer shot him. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Vancouver police say one of their officers was injured in the fight. We don't know the extent of their injuries at this time, but we do know the 3 officers who were involved were placed on leave, and the Washington State Office of Independent Investigations has taken over this case. Now, as for the man who was killed last night, investigators have not released his name.
Now, Ashley, you just mentioned that the agency handling this investigation is the Office of Independent Investigations. This is a fairly new group.
It is, China, and I was able to talk with their director of communications this morning, and he told me that this was the first time that they have been called out. They only actively started taking calls on December 1st, and they are called out in instances where officers use deadly force. Now, they have about 15 investigators here on the west side of the state. Here's what he had to say.
This is our first one. I will say that since Sunday, we've all been, sitting very close to our phones and making sure that we were ready to respond. We have staff local. We had people here within the hour after we had the incident reported to us.
Now, Hector Castro, the man you just heard from there, the director of communications for this new Washington State Independent Investigative Agency, told me that they have 120 days to file a report and complete their investigation. Then that information will be available online. China?
Our Ashley Graham's reporting live from Vancouver. Thank you, Ashley. Meanwhile, in Portland, police arrested a man for 2 violent attacks on workers at Gresham Health Spas. 20-year-old Habib Habibi faces several charges, including rape, robbery, and attempted sexual abuse. Police say the attacks happened at 2 health spas within a mile of each other near Southeast Stark and 181st. The first was on November 13th, then again on Thanksgiving Day. Apologize for that. We had a miscommunication, but detectives say it's possible Habibi may be involved in other unreported incidents. The Lane County Sheriff's Office is looking for a missing 76-year-old woman. So take a moment to look at your screen here. Police say Cheryl Guajardo was last believed to be near Highway 58, possibly on West Boundary Road on Tuesday. She is known to travel between Eugene, Bend, Portland for shopping. They say she suffers from dementia and memory loss. She was last seen driving her white 2022 Toyota RAV4. This is a picture of it right here. If you see Guajardo or know where she could be, contact police. Nearly 5,000 nurses, doctors, and caregivers at 13 Providence hospitals and clinics have voted to authorize a strike. Negotiations with Providence have been going on for more than a year now and still no contract. The medical workers want more staffing, pay, and investments in patient safety. If a strike does happen, it would be the first time in Oregon's history that doctors have walked off the job. But a 10-day notice is required by law before a strike can begin. Wells Fargo has announced that it will lay off more than 700 local workers in October of next year. 500 of the job cuts will happen in Hillsborough and another 220 will take place in Salem. Here's the Portland Business Journal's managing editor weighing in on the announcement.
Wells Fargo is facing a lot of pressure on the commercial real estate side, as more and more companies let their employees work from home. Office vacancies are building up, and that makes it harder for companies to actually pay off their loans.
OPB reports that Wells Fargo has already laid off about 400 workers at the Hillsborough location since the start of last year.